sometimes adults do not fully understand the students' perspectives in terms of conflicts or any problem in our school. Before I start my talk, I would like everyone to imagine a young kindergarten boy. What do you think he will do during the day? Most people will answer something like playing around or sleeping, right? And yes, that's what I also did when I was in kindergarten. However, the difference is when I was in KG3, I liked to compete in various competitions and also attend outdoor activities. As you can see from this picture, it was a competition since I was in KG3. It is pretty much telling a story, and I enjoyed it really, really much. And time flies really fast, until finally I reached year 8. I received a new opportunity, International Friends for Peace. At first, I thought it was just another competition. However, I didn't realize that this competition gave me an idea, a solution, something that I think can improve our school. But before we look at the solution, let me bring you back to the year 2022 where I decided to apply for this project. So back in 2022, our school made an announcement about this project, International Friends for Peace. And by that time, I was in year 8, and the only competitions I've been to were speech competitions and project presentation. So I would love to try something new. And this project's major goals is to promote peace and also reduce conflict in our school by empowering youth. After I registered, I was ready for whatever challenges will come next. Although I know that it would be very difficult since this project involves 3 rounds and there were over 1,600 applicants in total. So in the first round, I had to take an online examination that can see my English and grammar skills, and I also had to take a short video explaining why I wanted to be part of this project. I made it to the second round, luckily, and there were only 300 participants left. I had to join 4 online workshops, which is in multiple weeks, and I also had to answer questions that reflected why I wanted to be part of this team. And I also made it to the third round after waiting for weeks. So in the final round, I was invited to a camp at Pathum Thani. However, I don't know what later challenges I will face since the project wants to keep everything as a secret. So finally, when I reached Pathum Thani, I was ready for whatever challenge will come next. And when all the 29 finalists, including me as the 30th, reached the camp, we had a bit of an ice-breaking session. And after that, I faced my very first challenge. To my surprise, we were randomly teamed up as a group of 3 people to ideate and give out ideas to solve conflicts in our school. And the camp lasts for 3 days. And the difficult part is that we have to come up with a presentation and a pitch within 2 days. Well, we had little sleep, and it was kind of stressful and intense. However, it resulted in me winning an award in the pitching day. All of this, it made me realize something, that sometimes problems faced by children should be focused and addressed by the children themselves. This realization brings me back to the solution I mentioned earlier in my talk. And this solution is to tackle the issue that sometimes adults do not fully understand the students' perspectives in terms of conflicts or any problem in our school. And this is caused by what you call the generation gap problem. Sometimes the gap between the students and the teacher must be reduced so that both of the generations will understand each other. Therefore, I would like to propose a method called From Me to We. And the key of this project is to reduce the gap between the generations so that students can give out their own ideas, while the teachers will guide rather than decide. Now, I would like to tell you another process of our main project, which is to find peace leaders. Why peace leaders? These peace leaders will be our friends, whether it is our seniors or juniors who are voluntarily want to solve problems in our school. Since they are our friends, it will be easier for them to understand and tackle these problems. So now, I'd like to invite you all to have a listen for this 5-step approach of this process. First is to conduct a survey to identify common problems or conflicts that are happening in our school. Second is to form a peace leader team by finding volunteers of students in our own school who are ready to make changes. Third is to organize meetings so that these peace leaders can talk together and find solutions to tackle each problem. Fourth is to put these ideas into action. And fifth, finally, we will continue this process year after year until it becomes an Ektra system. This project reduces generation gap by allowing students to express their own opinions and solutions, while the teachers guide rather than decide. This builds trust, improves communication, and reduces the gap between adults and children. Therefore, why don't we give the youth a voice and listen? Thank you.